Trying to get creative when you're in a creative rut can be a bit challenging. Trust me, I know. I've created a simple process that I want to share with you to get those creative juices flowing no matter how long it's been since you last sat down to create. I think an art journal page is a great start. You don't have to worry so much about the end result, and you can try so many different techniques and products in the process of creating. If you are trying to get out of a creative rut, try sticking to techniques you've already done and products that you are comfortable using. That way the stress of trying something new is not there, and you can relax and enjoy the process of creating. All right, with that little pep talk out of the way, I hope you are feeling more confident that you can create anything that you want. I have done this process 1,000 times, probably even 1,000,000 times over the past 10 years of creating. When you start a project, you want a base layer, whether it's paper, stamping, or in this case, I'm using collage paper from Holtz. Then you can start adding more layers of texture. I'm using some paper texture paste and a stencil from Finnabair. This is going to give a lot of interest when I start adding all of the color in the end. Then I add a little bit of stamping with some permanent ink and a Holtz stamp. As always, all of the supplies that I am using is listed in the description box for you, so you could take a look if you are wanting any of the products that I'm using today. All right, so I added a little bit more gesso around the edges because I really wanted the center to be the focal point. Then I'm going to add some Distress Spray stain in Speckled Egg, which is one of my new favorite colors. And I'm going to add a little bit of depth with some weathered wood. At this particular moment, I am obsessed with using my Distress Spray stains and Oxide sprays, so that's what I'm using. But if you don't have those, don't worry, use what you have on hand. You can use watercolors, any other spray that you have. If you only have dye inks, you can smush them on a non-porous surface and use that to color an art journal page as well. Just giving you guys options so that you don't feel intimidated or that you can't create just because you don't have the same products as I do. All right, so I built up that color as you could see, and now I'm going to add more stamping because art journaling and mixed media is all about layering and creating a lot of texture and interest for the page. Another tip I have is sticking to the most simple composition possible, which is the center of the page. So you could see how I am building up the color in the center of the page. I built up the texture with the stamping and the modeling paste in the center of the page as well. I'm going to now add even more depth to this page by adding some Black Soot Distress Spray Stain. All right, after that dries, you could see that it kind of lightens up a lot. I decided that I wanted a few circles on my art journal page, and this is going to all make sense in the end. It's going to look a little bit crazy, but I used a watercolor pencil from Prima, and then I used a water brush to kind of blend it out a little bit. Now I'm using a finger dauber, which I am in love with. I cannot remember who told me to get these, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I truly appreciate it. So I added a little bit of interest with the X's onto the page. Now I'm taking one of the found relatives from Holtz, and I am adding some stamping, some inking on the edges, and also some Speckled Egg Distress Spray Stain just to make everything flow really nicely together. I'm just using this water brush to move around that color. I felt that this project needed another color, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle on some water to the background of this art journal page. Then I'm going to take the Fossilized Amber Distress Embossing Glaze from Holtz. If you haven't tried these, I highly recommend them. They are amazing. I am melting that into the background, and as you could see, it just adds a nice pop of color that I felt this project needed. I ended up going and stitching some fabric and some lace together and adding that to the art journal page as well. I'm going to add the photo, and as you could see, I did add some of that embossing glaze to that photo as well to make sure that everything looked really nicely together and flowed really good together. If you are looking for even more creative inspiration, tips, and techniques, I have a short playlist right here where I share more ways to jumpstart your creativity and get your creative juices flowing, so be sure to check it out. I would love to connect with you over on Instagram where I share even more projects and behind the scenes. I will have that link in the description box for you. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye!